because I'm not really. That doesn't mean now listen. If I say that, it doesn't mean I want to shoot your club up. Last thing I want to do is pay child support. But what it does mean is that I understand that sex has an ending, and sometimes the ending doesn't end the way you want to end because the woman's got some, like my daughter's mother was good, and it was the first piece of good that I ever had, and I didn't know how to get out of it. So it had issues. But what I'm saying is, what that happens at the end of that 9 to 10 months, there's really 10 months, but whatever, you may have a baby come out of that, right?
Yeah.
I want to control what the baby looks like. I want to breed. I want a mutant. Now, my boy's mother, Miles' sister, she's 5 foot. But luckily I did my research. She's the run. So my boys won't be 5'2". But, if you procreate with a woman that's 5 foot, right, and everybody in her family is between 5 foot and 5'5", you're not going to get 6'5" out of that. I need 6 foot, 200-pound mutants that have an opportunity to be able to, be able to pay for the school. So I'm saying all that to say, to get back to the point, like if you're trying to pursue this person, if you don't pursue this person and you try to come as a friend, they are going to treat you in a manner of a friend.
See, I think for me, it just depends on what kind of friend you're trying to be to this woman. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like the guys that you're talking about. It sounds like they're trying to be the
I don't want to be your friend.
If he messes up, I'll be that. You can talk to me. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm not that. I'm not.
I don't want to be that. I don't want to be any of your friends. I've got one. So there's only. Let me preface this, like, 'cause if I'm your friend, I'm really your friend. Like, I have female friends. Mm-hmm. They have men. There is no attraction. I'm not friend zoned. Friend zone is when you are literally, you have a desire to be with that person. And
they don't want you.
And they don't want you.
Let me look up the definition.
And they only view you as that. And there's a great, it's French. There's subtitles. We'll put it up. But like the guy basically, it's a professor. He kicks it to you. He kicks game to you. Now, if you don't want to, like for example, my best friend, I talked about Jamila. I don't want to be with Jamila sexually. If we were going to, and every guy that she's ever been with that was like worried about that, if we were going to do that, I told him the truth. If we were going to do that, we would have crossed that bridge in 6th grade when we met each other. But we said, I knew in 6th grade I didn't want, it's not that she's ugly, she's beautiful. It's just, she actually made a comment. And this is my gift and my curse, is that I remember everything almost. And I remember the conversation we had when we were in 6th grade. She said that she wanted to be an OBGYN, a doctor. She is that. She said it doesn't matter. Her obligation is to her patient. She said, I could be in the middle of sex. If that beeper goes off, I'm leaving. And I said, I can't be with that person. No, she needs to save the world, deliver babies. In 6th grade, 11 years old, I knew then that that's it. But again, she's been the greatest point guard in America. And in terms of the swing man, that's her. She helps me out. But like, I've seen her friend zone guys. I've seen other stuff happen like that. If you have opinions on the friend zone or whether it exists or not, please hit us up in the comments. Yeah. Hit us up on Twitter. I personally believe that if you're really actively going for somebody, and you're pursuing them, you're giving them compliments, you're asking them if they want to go to Checkers. Yeah. Don't take a girl to Ruth Chris on the first date.
Checkers?
Checkers? Yes. If she can't eat Checkers, she does not deserve Ruth Chris.
Okay. All right. Now you might be.
I'm not saying don't ever take your girl to a fancy restaurant. That's not what I'm saying. If you take a girl to a fancy restaurant on the first date, you're messing up the whole trajectory of the relationship.
Okay. You went for a home run on the first go round. Unless you got $400 to take somebody on a date every time. Yeah. Unless you Big Game James.
No. I enjoy Checkers.
Yeah.
Checkers' fries are elite.
I've never asked a girl on a date to Checkers.
I'm going on a date to Checkers. Like, hey, baby, let me show you the finer things in life. I want to take you to Checkers. Right. If she doesn't laugh at that, hey, you got a snooty bitch. Like, you got problems, dog. Like, but if she does that, then okay, we can go. And really, I say Ruth Chris. Ruth Chris is ass now. Ruth Chris is like Applebee's of steak restaurants.
I make better steaks. I said it on sports.
I'll give you that. There are better steak restaurants, but that was what used to be the creme de la creme when I first made that joke. So like that's all I can think about right now. Ruth Chris is the hood, as my boy OJ would say. But again, don't be taking but you would not take your friend to a restaurant like that. Don't be going out like that. That's my opinion.
I recently, after seeing that video, I recently had sort of that same experience happen. So when I went back to Boston, I met up with a girl, which actually you've met when we used to live back at the Montrose, the little skinny redhead, right?
Okay.
So she done glowed up, good job, whatever, thicked up, whatever. So I seen
back. Doubling back.
Let me tell you how it went. It was a little bit salty on my part. So we come back. I go to Boston. She done moved back to Boston. Hits me up to go out, whatever. At the end of the date or whatever, she was saying some friend stuff over the text. And I was just like, hold on.
With friend stuff?
Yeah, like she wants to remain friends or whatever. I had never brought up being in a relationship. But I was like, ooh, we talked. She glowed up. I have not gotten there. She seen where I was financially. She was like, I'm too good for him now. I want to put him in the friend zone. I'm going to be real with you. I hit that. I was like, oh. I read it all in my head. She hits me up with her friends, and y'all don't know me too well, but I do get I have a switch. Don't hit me with no BS, because I just we were never friends like that in the first place. I don't know, what are you talking about? You're insulting me to my face. Get the, this is the turn down version. I go off quick. So I was like, cut that off immediately. Gone, right? So I come back here. I start posting some more on Instagram or whatever. A little bit more workouts.
By the way, ladies, Miles is jacked. I want to put this out there. So it's not that Bobby isn't. Bobby's dope. Bobby's petite. We don't gotta use these. Bobby's petite, and Bobby's a different type.
Dope. I'm a grown man.
Dope. Like I'm saying, Bobby's a different type of dope. Miles is I'm gonna walk. True story. When Miles' car wasn't working, Miles was walking 5 miles to work and back. Rain, sleet, snow, or hail. To go into a warehouse job to work out in the goddamn warehouse.
That's when I noticed Miles had muscles. He posted he was working out at the job. And I was like, this is Miles.
It's just I had to work. So to me, the problem is it's like working at a good restaurant. My friends who used to work at the stepped-on chicken place, Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
I used to think that was great. It used to be good until I don't know what happened with the recipe. I don't know. Jesus ain't making the chicken no more. I can tell you that much. But my friends would be like, I work there too much. I don't want to eat the chicken. So I had to work out for a freaking living. So I'm a little fluffier now. I got the physique. I just don't. And I don't wake up and be like, you know what? I can still throw weight around. I don't be like, hey, you know what? Let me go do some squats and some. Miles does that, and he looks great. My bad. Go ahead and finish your story.
Yeah, but basically, long story short, once you start seeing this, you see a little bit more things that I'm posting with you guys. It looks like, I'm going somewhere professionally. So I get a little text back on the Instagram. I don't even send people. I don't even know how she got my Instagram. So
she was searching for you. She had to.
But here's how I'm kind of just a dog. I'm a dog ass nigga. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I see all that in my head. I remember my New Year's resolution, and I say I'm gonna make myself look worse than I did before. I was like, oh no, I'm in struggle mode. Blah 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 blah. Ain't nobody knowing about the safeness until it happens, bruh. I'm done with all that, and she falls back a little bit. But I see the game now, you know what I'm saying?
So the guy in the chat, thank you. The guy that Charles Walker says she wanted a Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk. So again, some of you young people don't understand what that means because Star Trek. I do watch Star Trek. I don't like Star Wars, but I do like Star Trek. Probably because my godmother she watched. Anyways, Captain Kirk. Every episode of Star Trek, there was an alien woman, and he always saved them. So Master P made this song called Captain Kirk, Can You Save Me? Captain Kirk, I want to have your baby. So Captain Kirk is a Captain Save-A-Ho. And that's what the friend zone basically is. You're the safety net.
Yes.
And it's nothing, if that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, give us the definition.
I found the official definition is a situation in which a friendship exists between two people, one of whom has an unreciprocated romantic or sexual interest in the other.
Right. So here's the problem with that. It's a place that you choose to be in.
Yes.
Men and females can be friends. I'm not like Steve Harvey. That's a dumbass statement and ungrown. Absolutely. You can be friends with, excuse me, actually, I don't care. Of the opposite sex, you can be, because I don't know what fucking terms you can use or not. Anyways, because we're going to get into sports here in a second. But you can be friends. But if you're in the friend zone, I want you to know that's a choice. If you want to, and if you want to have sexual relations with the woman that you're friends with, and that's not known, you're a sucker and you're a manipulator and you're an abuser. You need to stop that and be a fucking man and either shoot your shot or be cool with where you're at.
Get off the court.
I'm not mad at that. Like, again, there are some of it's good for networking, business relationships, a lot of different stuff like that. But like, don't be just sitting around trying to, because as a guy, like if you're in a relationship, because I'm gonna tell you this, I'm not the type of guy that's gonna beat you up over a lady or any of those type of things. But if I find out that I'm having an argument with my old girl and she goes to you because you are old Captain Kirk ass person, you're a terrible person.
Russell Wilson ass nigga. No.
You're a terrible person.
You're evil.
Like that's it. So
I agree with you. I think that's definitely some sucker shit. If you're like, but I think women, especially at least for me, for who I'm talking to, the way that you approach it, being a friend, will tell you how it will be. If she's with somebody else and you're chilling, if y'all are friends, you like flirty friends or whatever. I think you won't get that girl if she breaks up with her man if you're like friends with. But I think she's more likely to be with you while with him if you're not.
Which is not that's true. That's different.
Mm-hmm. You got to approach it
again. Real talk. If you're in today's day and age, like if you just met this girl and y'all are dating after 1 month, you're dating about 5 other people.
Yeah,
you got to give it 6 to 7 months before, because it's a lot of polls out there, right? Like she's fishing. Yeah. You're fishing. You're fishing too. Mm-hmm. You might forget about one of the thoughts that you didn't talk to, and it takes a little bit of time to get the text messages and everything else shifted and moved. And again, too many people want to be too serious too quick. But if I met you, I'm gonna tell you, if I meet you in a club, I want to be your friend. And then if I met you in like math class,
that's good.
That's different.
People don't take into account the settings.
But if I met you in the club, the light was right, the settings,
the sundress was right.
What did I just say? So if you were 2 at 10, you might have been a 10 at 2.
Yeah.
So that's different. Like if I saw you, I had enough of that high end scotch. I had a lot of. I have no intentions of trying to even learn about you. It's only one thing I wanted to do: have sex. Now we may be able to grow into something from that, but
we got to grow from sex. Right. All right, I can't.
A lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's a lot of great long-term relationships that have happened.
Great conversation.
This is again, it's a new age. Let's be grown. Let's take into account a lot of these different situations.
You took accountability in everything that you just said, which was great. You were very realistic in the setting in which you meet a woman and your own intentions when pursuing that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people aren't, and that's why FriendZone. That's why FriendZone
is accountability. You brought up a really good position. So we're going to do this out of context and out of order. With accountability, we're going to bring in Hate O'Clock, and we're going to go to Green Acre Sporting Goods. $499. Please don't go in there. If you mention the SportsDen and something from one of the shows, Green Acres will sell you an AR-15. Great gun, very fun to shoot. Z and them are going to make sure you get the best ammunition, best bullets. A lot of places out here selling guns don't have bullets. What the fuck is the purpose of buying a gun with no bullets? But if you don't want to get that, they have great handguns, great shotguns, very knowledgeable people. Go in there, tell them Big Game sent you, the SportsDen sent you. Accountability and women are like vegetables and children. Neither one of them wants to eat them consistently.
Oh my God.
And I mean this, and this is what I mean. It's not just women. There are men too, but I'm just saying a lot of times you don't have think pieces written about men not taking, women not taking accountability. Every week there's something that we read about men, and the dumbest shit that I've seen on the internet And if you haven't paid attention to this, we have a celebrity that's in custody in Russia by the name of Brittney Griner. And Brittney Griner was trying to board an airplane to get out of Russia, and she got caught with like hemp oil, weed products.
Yeah, a little bit of hemp oil.
Like
vapes, I think.
Vapes. So that's what it is. So nothing crazy, nothing major, but if you've never flown internationally or never been anywhere internationally, I got news for you. Try not to do anything illegal because you're going to go to jail. They're going to treat you differently. And one of my visions of when I go out the country is to not go to jail in a foreign country, in a place where I don't know the fucking language. Now, Brittney was hooping over there, so she has a little bit more of things going on. But my problem comes in is that the accountability part. People are putting that if she was LeBron James or any other male athlete, that they would have been trying to get her free and things like this. I said, first and foremost,
I didn't see that.
LeBron James, what's the first illegal thing we've ever heard LeBron James do?
Yeah, really.
And there is not a more pro-weed podcast than us. I think weed is amazing.
100%.
I really wish weed got a bad rap due to racism. And go look up Reefer Madness. Go look up a lot of the different laws. The person who created it was a lot because for whatever reason they thought weed, and even when Prohibition started, they thought that this was going to create super sex animals and black men that were going to go pounce on white women.
I saw that and I didn't know if that was real or not.
It's real. It's very real. There was actually a movie called Reefer Madness.
I thought it was wild.
And that's what really led to all of this stuff. But like the medicinal benefits, the pain stuff, I'm just saying it's actually a lot better than what people really, really understand and what they know. But I also know that just in the States, it's not federally legal. It's not legal recreationally in the state of Florida. You still can go, in theory, if a company drug tests you and you fail the test, they don't have to hire you. Like, there's a lot of rules here in the U.S. that can get you jammed up. And I'm cool with our prisons. Some of our prisons are really, shit, them things look fun. I'm not going. If you don't believe me, go look up these TikToks. There's one where these people are doing fucking Benihanas in the goddamn prison cell. Some of them eat better than me or you. Trust me. Look it up.
Definitely better than I ate in college.
But definitely better. At worst, better than most of us ate in college. But like Brittney, I don't give my own. Again, a lot of this stuff that I have opinions on, it's not necessarily strong because I don't care. But I've been in another country. I almost got jammed up and I didn't do anything. And I was terrified. Matter of fact, it was right around the same time that Rihanna's baby daddy got jammed up in France, I believe. And 4-5 had to try to get him out.
Did you just call him Rihanna's baby? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I love this shit.
He doesn't have it. I think it was Rihanna's baby. Whoever the rapper was that's not good enough, that doesn't have enough hits for us to know who he is. There's nothing wrong with being Rihanna's baby daddy. Shit.
It's wrong with him being Rihanna's baby daddy.
I mean, listen, who wouldn't trade being Rihanna's whatever? I don't even have to be a baby daddy. Just call me Rihanna's man. Rihanna's purse. Rihanna's pocket. Whatever. But my point goes into that. I get to the DR, so I fly into to the capital city, and the guy who's my driver gets pulled over, and there the police are very corrupt. They pull people over and extort them, and they call it for safe trial because they don't pay them very well. They pulled my guy over, and he's like, they said he was speeding, and they asked him, "Do you want to go to jail? We're gonna take all y'all to jail if you don't, or you can give me some money." And my guy is cussing him out. Mind you, all of this, he tells me what's happening afterwards when we get cleared. All this is happening in Spanish. Very loud, very angry, and I mean Spanish. So I have to ask these questions as a guy who's a Spanish implant. I always ask the question, is this person Spanish or are they gay? And I don't mean this in a bad way. They speak with their hands.
Oh my God.
No, I'm saying, listen, this is why. This is what I'm about. They speak with their hands. They're very passionate. They're very flamboyant. They're very colorful, and a lot of the stuff like is just as an American, it's a difference in culture.
Yeah, they're open about like being sexy.
And it's anything like I wear my pants a lot more fit now, but they were wearing them Enrique Iglesias and leather. I won't wear leather pants, but they were wearing them. They were hopping into their jeans well before it became popular in the United States. So all of this is going on in front of me, and they just yelling, speaking in Spanish. I don't know what the fuck going on. I'm in the back seat. And all I know is the police. I know what jail means, and I'm like, yo, damn, they just. I said 4-5 ain't finna free 2 black people.
They just got Kodak out of it.
I was like, yo, and I'm like, man. I was like, yo, I just got here. It's 3:00 in the morning here. I just want to get to Sosua. I just want to have fun. I didn't come here for this. So, long story short, it worked out. Now I got jammed going in. And I got jammed going out. Now, here's what happened going out. I like cigars, obviously. They have Cuban cigars that are there. The Cuban cigar shop. I go into the shop, find all these great Cuban cigars. Girl there at the counter, like, I look at it. I know I've bought $500 worth of cigars. Easily. I go over there. I say, she's like, okay, it's $200. I say, whoa. Are you sure it's $200? Like, $200 American? She's like, yes, that's it. I've done the calculations. Like, are you sure that's $200 American? And then my partner Brandon's like, hey man, she says $200. Just looking at me like, bro, like, nah, take this. And I'm like, hold on. I say, babe, like this, I know what these cost. Are you sure? She's like, yeah. And she got mad at me. I said, well, shit. All right, here's $200 American. Yeah. I go to my apartment that I was staying in Sosua, and my boy Brandon. He leaves because that's my last night. It's my last night in Sosua. My boy Brandon goes back on the strip because I think he has a family there now or something. He's there every other Like, no black man goes to the DR that much. Like, it ain't, like, even if you're buying it, it becomes a bit much. Come on, man. Like, jeez. But that's my guy though. He's walking by the area to go get some food. Now the Dominican police can't mess with you. The federal police, the army basically can. And he gets jammed up. And the girl's like, she points at him. And then they come over there and he's like, yo. I said, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? And he's like, man, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? She's like, your friend that bought the cigars. He walked out of this. He's like, man. And so Brandon's like sitting here. So WhatsApp is how they communicate in foreign countries. Mm-hmm. I happen to be asleep. So luckily it saved. My WhatsApp is blowing up. Like, you got to get you a Brandon in your life no matter what, because Brandon was jammed up, foreign country. And you know what Brandon still upheld?
What?
Snitches get stitches. My dog did not snitch. He did not give him the location. He didn't do anything. But I was smart enough to realize this. They were looking for me. So I stayed. Mm-hmm. And I'm in my compound. He didn't tell them where to get me. I stayed until my driver came in. And my driver was like, because we got jammed up going in, we ain't getting jammed up going back. So we went the back roads, which is terrifying. Because we climbed the mountains. They aren't paved. I did get out of there safely. But my point is that I understood what I was into. And if I would have got arrested over something silly like that, I would have been like, you know what? Damn it. I kind of deserve what I got. Yeah. $300 could have saved me a lot of headache.
But that's some accountability right there.
Accountability. Brittney Griner could have bought a fucking vape pen when she got to where she needed to get to. What do you think is going to happen when you try to load an airplane? And the other side of it is, Brittney is identified. Brittney a man. She's getting treated like a black man. Any black man would be treated that had weed going on a plane. You want to be a man so bad? Yeah. She's getting a full dosage of it. She got to pay child support now because she was married to a woman that had a kid, which is the ironic, funniest thing in the world.
I think that's hilarious.
But also, we got people who are mad at Deshaun Watson over the idea that he may or may not have showed his dick to women while he was getting a massage. We know Brittney Griner has put paws on a woman. How many of y'all are going around defending domestic violence? habitual domestic violence people. The reality situation, this ain't the fucking hill I want to die on.
Yeah.
That's what I mean is, my head of clock is like, dude, like you either you're pro people not doing stupid stuff, you're pro women not getting their asses whipped by their significant other, or you just want to argue because you think male athletes get this exception that nobody got. I think there's been one athlete that's ever got something, and karma got him back about 10 years later.
Who?
OJ. We can all sit here and agree. I am with you. Listen, I was too young to really be able to have a voice, but I'm with you. I was happy that he got off, not because, I just know black men have been convicted for less. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I think he did it. I'm with you. He did it. And he got it back later for something that was way stupid, but way less. He got charged for being dumb.
Yeah.
And again, the accountability eventually catches itself up to people. But like, the reality is, guys, these fucking think pieces for Brittney Griner, really just sit back and look at yourself in the mirror. Be like, is this truly the hill I want to die on? Is this if it was, you know what? I'll tell you this much. One, she wouldn't get caught with weed. Somebody in her entourage would have got caught because she's smarter than that. If this was Serena, we sending the troops in to get Serena.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not sending the troops in for Brittney fucking Griner, man.
Yeah.
It is not that I dislike her. Listen, I actually wish there were more female athletes like that because I think the WNBA would be so much more exciting with nasty block shots and girls getting dunked on. The NBA did not get exciting until nuts started getting put in other people's face. Like, people don't realize this. There was a time when you could not dunk in the NBA. You had to just lay it up.
I wasn't alive then.
None of us were alive, but there was a time. It was very fundamental. It was very, anybody could play. But once they started making it more athletic, more people watched it. Women started getting involved. Everybody started. So imagine, there's a young lady here from Jacksonville that could dunk. I went to Reball.
You talking about Rennia?
Rennia, yep. Got a chance to train Rennia.
After school programs with her when I was in middle school and stuff.
I want more Rennias.
Listen, she was crossing us up in middle school.
There was a girl in the women's basketball.
Rennia Davis, by the way, is her name. Rennia Davis.
Shout out Minnesota. The only WNBA basketball jersey that I own. Had to go buy it. Had to go cop it. But it was a girl in basketball recently that literally went coast to coast. One hand slammed it. We start getting girls two-hand dunking on each other. Like, women, I promise you, the equality that you seek and pay will happen because more of us will watch it.
What do you
it's
think
just
about this?
Really boring now.
There was something that came out. All right. Obviously, we talked about the Leah Thomas and the swimmer stuff last episode.
Right.
What do you think about this proposal? Because I thought it was actually pretty interesting. They were saying, what if every WNBA team just added one slot for a trans woman to play basketball on their team? You got people dunking, you got more aggression coming in.
I still don't know. I don't. And again, we're going to accountability too with that because we just brought it up and it was in the chat. I don't know how I feel about that. I think women athletes are getting better, and I want to see a true fair competition.
Yeah,
and I want to see. And here's another
that would be
thing
the quickest way to implement the dunking aggression, though. Is what I'm saying.
I think it just takes time too to make the NBA is 75 years old. The WNBA isn't. They weren't getting paid these millions and millions of dollars when it first started. It took time to build a brand, and as I told you, before they went, it took a separate league to make it more because the NBA was over there fundamental, pick and roll. Good old bank shot. Yeah. Do this. Then the ABA came around, different color basketball, bright color uniforms, trick shots, all kinds of stuff. And that's the same thing with the NFL. The NFL was this is the way that the football is supposed to be played, the way that God intended it. Then you had the AFL, way more exciting, way more this, more people like that. Then the mergers happened. ABA, NBA, AFL, NFL happened. Then that's when you started seeing the leagues spike in popularity. Even with the NFL, was it the USFL? It's also made a lot more things happen. I'm trying to think of another similar instance in male sports, because like everybody just sees the now and don't understand it. It takes years to build a brand, and that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from. Yeah. Oh, but what I also don't like is, and I'm about to get started into my son's probably his last year of doing flag football, and because they're just they're just too damn good. Like I don't want to see them beat the shit out of other kids when I don't want my son to get bored. But I don't like participation trophies. We either win the championship and we take the trophies, or we don't, and we don't take the trophies. We don't do that shit. It's like there is a winner and a loser, no matter how much you want to sugarcoat it. And trust me, y'all can blame liberals, like because I'm moderate, so you can't call me out on any of this shit. But liberals ain't the ones who started participation trophies, because a lot of people that I grew up training, that came up training, they ain't wasn't liberals. They were staunch conservatives, and they was mad as fuck that their kid wasn't playing. And that's why they started training with me, to get their kid on the same level. But like if their kid didn't get a trophy, their kid didn't get something, they bitched about it. Trust me. So liberals bitch about it too, but you conservatives do the same thing. Y'all all are snowflakes. But the most snowflakish thing happened. And I get where he's coming from. That's what I want to say first. Governor DeSantis in the state of Florida, I get it. Old girl lost. And it stinks that she lost to the worst male swimmer last year, is now the best female swimmer.
He actually was not the worst. I did some research on that.
So they were okay.
It was actually pretty good in the Ivy League program, but it was like the 462 was like an international ranking.
Oh, okay, okay. So all right, so okay.
When you look into it,
so it wasn't a college rank. It was not international.
It was international for what those numbers that you're talking about was.
Okay, fair. That's more of a fair, but I still don't think the girl lost, and it's not, and it stinks.
Oh yeah, she got smoked.
Stuff happens, but like, don't come and try to make me the national champion. That doesn't work. Just because you say it, it doesn't change it. It doesn't change the articles. It doesn't change what we saw.
She pulled the UCF.
Right? Yeah, that's what you just did. To me, that makes it worse. So I'll use, again, personal examples of, like, because I want people to know anything that I say, I'm not just saying it and not living it. The last season that we had, a couple of them, we lost. We lost by the refs. We got video, like my son's team. Matter of fact, one of the guys, Charles, he scores a touchdown. He's 5 steps in the damn end zone, and then the referee says, he stiff-armed the kid. He's in the damn end zone. What do you mean he stiff-armed the kid? I got a kid that's a big body. He catches the ball. All he does is turn to the left, and it's some little small petite kid that's there. The kid, they said he should have made a move to get out the way. How? I asked the ref. I said, ref, I played at the highest levels. How the fuck can I coach this kid to do? I think I said that too. Yeah. How the fuck do I coach this kid to do that? Help me so I can make him better, because I don't think it can happen. You know what? I did not. They said it on. We got video and all that stuff. At the end of the day, you know what we did? We lost. I didn't go to I-9 and say, hey, hey man, this is what really happened. Yeah. We lost the championship. That's what happened. I did not go on the internet and proclaim us the real champions. Yeah. Okay. My team is it's the 3rd and 4th grade league. My team actually has 2 second graders on it, and most of the kids are 3rd grader. We have 1 4th grader. I didn't go and say we're really the 3rd grade champions because we were playing older kids. We lost. Another guy that I roll with, my guy Tom West, probably the greatest lacrosse coach in the state of Florida. He should have 20 state championships. The problem is there was 1 division in the state of Florida for lacrosse until recently. He coached at a public school. For like 7 straight years, he went to the Final Four. In the Final Four, it was St. Thomas Aquinas, Lake Highland Prep, and then like another private school. All the private schools that could recruit should be good at those sports. We didn't go around and say, oh, well, we're really the state champions because we're the only public school. No. Lake Highland won a state championship one of those years. St. Thomas Aquinas won a state championship. Was it fair? No. Now, was it fair in the sense that we were all, it was guys playing guys? Yeah. Yes, but was it fair that they have resources and things that they can do or get access to that the other schools can't? But at the end of the day, is nobody, we lost. Yeah. It stinks. It stinks. Yeah. It really, really stinks. But it doesn't help it when you try to make it a political agenda.
Yeah, when you're trying to spin it.
And you're trying to spin it. Like, that's not helping me. Like, you don't just... If I wanted to make a national championship trophy, I could just go to a one of the award trophy shops and pay for somebody to make it. But you know what that doesn't make me?
What?
It doesn't make me the national champion.
Yeah.
And it's also like, what's your job? Like, what are you doing? I'm at work all the time. Why do you have time to just do this nonsense? Don't you have like
better things to do?
Shouldn't you be running our state?
That's it. You know, so there's that. And again, congratulations on even making the finals. But like at the end of the day, it was a loophole. It's a rule. If they change the rule, I'm cool with it. If they don't, I don't. Because at the end of the day,
just win next year.
But at the end of the day, I didn't care about women's 500 meter swimming last week, and I don't care about it today.
You're honest and accountable. So, I think that's half the world. I mean, everybody making these articles.
Just the reality is, when you don't care,
they're never going to talk about women's swimming again unless this happens again next year.
It's speaking of honesty and accountability and developing the right mentality and mindset, because the standard is the standard, man. And the standard is winning, and the standard is over everything. You're either trying to live to a standard or you're not. And but you know, and I want my university, my alma mater, to get to that point. But we've been struggling the last 5 years at Florida State, and I know there's Gator fans, Miami fans, all kinds of other stuff, pro fans that listen to us, that we're not really getting into the nitty-gritty of what we would normally get to, but I have a unique opportunity to be able to go and see my alma mater and cover them. This is the best that I've seen FSU look in a while, and each time I've gone, I've taken my son, and I think my son is getting better now because he's getting a chance to watch a better product, and FSU is a better product.
Do you see it like more in his reaction? He's like enjoying it more. All
right, perfect example. And there is no person that I know that is more brutally honest. Well, most kids and drunks are the two most honest people in the world.
You can put me up there, Bobby, too.
But my son is a kid, but he is brutally honest. I just saw a video of him, I guess 7 or 8 years ago, when he was a baby. And he was clapping. He was Babies R Us. He was clapping.
Yeah.
Having a good time clapping. And then some random lady comes in, and she's like, yeah. He's like, bitch. Who told you can clap? I promise you, I got it. It's on mine. It is literally the most hilarious thing. He's way nicer as a kid now than he was as a baby. Killer is the mean baby. But Trigger is not. But Trey, we went to go watch, because I asked him, hey, you want to skip school to watch practice? He said, yes. So we skipped school. FSU practiced here in August. And we went to the practice. And he told me, he said, Dad, is this a high school team or is this a college team we're watching? I said, damn.
That was this year he said that?
Was just this past August.
Oh, last year.
I said, shit. That's not what I want to hear. Like everybody tells me, FSU fans that are super optimistic use me as the guy that they say I hate. And I don't hate. I am giving you my perception based on a guy who's played at the highest level and has played there, won championships there, done a lot of different things. And I was just like, they just don't look the part. And I was like, damn, my son. So I said, I went and watched them on their first practice on a Saturday. I was like, damn. I was like, they look good, man. They look good. But they in shorts.
Yeah.
I was like, I know who's going to give his honest opinion. Trey. So I went to the Monday's practice. Trey was on his spring break, so he didn't have to miss school for that one. So I went, scooped him up. We drove over to Tallahassee. Got a chance to watch practice. And he was just like, yo, Dad, they look pretty good. They look better than the last time I saw them. And he's like, and Trav looked like he knows what he's doing with the ball a little bit better. He's throwing the ball good. Mm-hmm. And then he talked about the running backs came over. He talked about beating Mackenzie Milton in a foot race. Which
that video was funny.
I don't think is very difficult. But, he talked about just a lot of things that he talked about. So I'm like, all right. And I told him, he said, Dad, can I come to another practice? I said, yeah, I'll take you to when they put pads on, because everybody looked good in shorts. When you pull the pads out, it's when you see separates the men from the boys.
Yeah.
So
that's what MOT used to say.
They were on spring break, and on college spring break. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go over here on Tuesday. My son's godfather, Toby Bullock, who's the head coach at Mandarin High School, he was coming over. And shout out to Jamie French, got an offer, Mandarin High School, rising sophomore, really, really good athlete. But we went over with Uncle Tobe. And we were hanging out because he looked like Toby's the biggest. I found the biggest white man in the city of Jacksonville to be my son's godfather.
Okay,
he's huge, great, awesome dude. So he'll whoop your ass over my kids. So that's why I love him. I whoop your ass over brother in Memphis too. Those are his kids. But
he has a white kid named Brother.
What's brother's real name?
No, I was about to say that.
That's not Memphis's real. They have nicknames. They've got other names.
He loves black people. If he's naming his white kid Brother,
I have to remember. It's weird that I have to remember like some of my god kids' name, but like I know we call him Brother. That's his name. Shit. One day, like if I ever have to take him to the hospital. I pray I don't. Then I want to write. What's his name? Brother Bullock. I don't know. But he was called Brother because that's what Memphis was calling him. Brother, this stuff. Yeah, so, anyways, we go over there hanging out with Uncle Tobe. Tobe is so fucking knowledgeable in football that it really just, it's actually not annoying, but it like makes me question if I ever even know anything. Because like he's a savant. He's really, like he's not actually, no, he's not. He's just really, really good. Savants are kind of special needs in other places. But Toby's just really, really good at offense. But Trey is over there watching everything. He's watching the pass. He's watching the hit. He actually almost got involved. He almost got hit by Malik McClain, good-looking wide receiver from Florida State. And, Trey was just like, yo, Dad, they look, he's like, Dad, they're big. So I'm like, all right, cool. Shout out to Coach Storms. And Coach Storms and cousin Linear Coleman, because there's a big ass black man with the last name Coleman over there that literally makes me pick and choose. There's days I want to look like Miles. I want to slim down, want to get shredded. But then I see Coach Coleman over there, and he is massive. Like he's got a chest that you can place objects on.
Do you ever think about like getting?
That's what I'm looking at him, and I'm like, yo. That sure as hell is easier for me to achieve.
What about you as my size?
I don't think I've ever been your size since I was an infant. But no. You said you were 115?
I'm 122 right now. 122. I got up. All right.
I must have been. I might have been like 6th grade when last time I was that size. But like, COVID slimmed me up real good. So like I could catch COVID without dying, I would appreciate that. Like because a lot of people talk about how easy COVID is. I'm like, yeah, y'all got that shit easy.
I think my 115
that shit whooped the fuck out of me. I ain't never got my ass whooped like with COVID.
Yeah, my 115 might have been after I had COVID.
I think we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Because you don't look that
was very small, but Trey was really watching it. But like they are better. They are better. Does that mean they're going to win the ACC? No, that doesn't. It just means they're better than they were before. So, like, they're better at the running back room. Trayshawn Ward will be the starter, should be the starter. They got this kid, Benson, from Oregon, who looks like, if you're a Florida State fan, go look up a guy named Eric Shelton, who ended up transferring to Louisville, but he was a big, explosive back. That's who he kind of reminds me of. And they've got some guys that are in there that can play different utility positions that I think are going to be really, really good.
So you always say the standard is the standard.
Standard is
winning. So do you celebrate better or do you celebrate best? Like, is that?
No. Well, what happens is what you can do is, all right. So there's a standard. You are held to that whether you want to or not. So we'll use school to explain this. C is not the standard, but that's passing, right?
Yes. And Duval is.
Yeah, Duval. A, if you make straight A's, you have a better chance of going to college. College should be your standard if you're going to school. Whether you go or not. That should be the standard. Can you get accepted? If you're not making that, you're below standard. So okay. F and the D is below standard.
Okay.
The world does not give a shit about anything. We saw that during COVID. You had to make your grades no matter what. Whether you had Wi-Fi, whether you had access to a laptop, whether you had good parents that could stay home, the world does not care. There is a standard. Another aspect of that for adults who are listening. I have a mortgage that I have to pay. Every every month. Now, if I can't make that, I can call the bank, and the bank will say, you know what? Okay. What we can do is we can shift your payments, but your payments are shifted to get you back to that standard. Or, you know what happens if I don't meet the standard? I get booted out my house.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit. The standard at Florida State is championships. Now, what can happen is we can not reduce, we can adjust expectations, but the expectations have to be adjusted to get us back to where the standard is.
Yeah. Okay. Now that is a great point. That's
so while I want us to, I can applaud. Like, so for example, if you're like, I tell my son this all the time. When he brings home a bad grade, I hold him to a standard. The reason why is because I know he's smart. If he was stupid, I would get him a tutor. We wouldn't buy video games. We wouldn't be playing all these sports. We wouldn't be doing all these other things because that money can go into making you a better student. So it's moving him toward the direction. But now if he's a C student and he makes a B, I'm going to applaud him, but still tell him A is the best.
Okay, yeah. I see.
So like right now with Florida State, if you're winning 8 games, I'm going to say, you know what, that's way better than winning 5. Mm-hmm. Now, we need to get 8 to be a championship contender.
Yeah. So the standard is still the same, but you also
the standard never.
You adjust expectations based on reality.
This only losers think the standard change. If I lower the standard, you know what's going to happen?
What?
You're just going to lower you're going to lower your expectations too.
I think if you lower the standard, then the product that was put out the last couple of years is the same product.
The reason why I believe it, and other schools have the luxury of not having to have that because nobody expects anything of them. Like, you weren't any good. So, like, no offense to UCF. UCF can cheer a fake national championship because they've never seen their school win a real national championship. And that'll probably be the best team they ever played. North Carolina State can cheer a 10-win team because a 10-win team means you're one of the best teams in program history. No matter what I would have done at Florida State, it's very different. Like, actually, even just using it as a positional player, you know how hard it is to be top 10 at your position at Florida State? The top 10 at Florida State is like some of the best players ever played the fucking game. So why do I have this? For people who don't know why I have this, and I've shared this before, it's my first time ever meeting Deion Sanders. 2003, we won 10 games. Won the ACC, lost in the Orange Bowl. We're a bad game against Clemson away from playing in the national championship that year. We lost to Miami twice. We lost to them during the regular season by a touchdown. And it was a close game. Tsunami, pouring down rain the whole time. It was crazy. And we lost to them in the bowl game. But, you know, at the end of the day, bowl games are great, but they're really exhibition games. But if we would have beat Clemson, we would have been in the national championship. I think we were the number 3 team in the nation when we went to Clemson. That's February or March. They had a player-only meeting. And when I tell you at that player-only meeting, it was the who's who of Florida State.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, Deion Sanders came. It was his first time coming back. T-Buck was there because he was on staff. It was like all the people that you grew up watching that made you want to be a Florida State Seminole.
Okay. They showed up?
They showed up. They ain't never came to no practices, never came to work with us, but they showed up. And me, as a kid who grew up as a fan, I'm like, yo, that's Prime. That's such and such. Who they cussed our asses out for 2.5 rounds.
Why?
After winning 10 games.
Yeah. Because you didn't win the Natty?
And some of these motherfuckers never won a Natty. But they won. They were consistently top 5. These were all guys who were part of the dynasty era where they had like 15 years where they finished. They say top 5, but they were really 1, 3, or 4. Damn near the entire time that they were there. And to be honest with you, if the BCS and the playoffs were in now, Florida State probably, Bobby Bowden would be, not even arguably, he would be the greatest coach. Because I believe Saban is going to end up being the greatest coach, and rightfully so. But like Bobby would have Saban-type numbers with championships because it gives you era to lose one game. During that time, he couldn't lose one game. And we weren't in a conference sometimes. The whole reason we got in a conference was to be able to play in championships because they weighted a little heavier. But like these guys cussed us out, slap out. Like we were trash, like we were ass. They called the decade that I played in the lost decade.
That's bad. That's bad.
And there was, now, mind you, before Tag got here, Florida State hadn't missed a bowl game in 36 years. Like, my entire life, we had, like, I didn't know what it was like for Florida State not to have a winning record. So, we come in, we're getting fussed out. And then now I'm seeing people, like, be apologetic. Like, oh, it's okay. You're losing. You're trying hard. James, you're so hard on them. Yes, bitch. I saw a guy get hit in the back of the head with a fucking orange because we lost the week before. We didn't have online classes. Like, you can just, like, if you don't like what they're saying to you online, you know what you can do? Just don't go online.
Yeah.
We had to go to fucking class. We had to show, like, these same people who were telling me, be easy, don't hurt their psyche, did not have to go to class with the same people who were just sitting there cheering for you. Now, when it was great, it was rocking. Now, most of our fans are great, but I'm just saying, like, we had to literally face, and most of the games, we never really got blown out. It was close games. Like I tell people, when we lost games, I played the greatest collection of talent the University of Miami has ever seen. I played against 13 first-round draft picks on defense. Not the entire team.
Damn.
Defense. It's not including Andre Johnson. That's not including Frank Gore. That's not including Willis McGahee. That's not including Brian McKinney, who was a great offensive lineman. That's not including a lot of motherfuckers. Not Kellen Winslow. Like, dude. And that's first-round picks. That's not drafted guys. Like guys like Rocky McIntosh, who was a second-round pick. And other cats. Like, these motherfuckers was good, bro.
Damn.
Like, they were good, man. And we were playing with them toe-to-toe. I have no idea how we were on the same field as these motherfuckers. Like, that's how good they were. Like, when you look at who got drafted and where they got drafted, like, damn, you're like, shit. Motherfuckers was good. When we lost to North Carolina State, this is the North Carolina State team we lost to. Some of these names you may know. Some of you might not. Phillip Rivers was a quarterback. Mario Williams, number 1 overall pick in my draft class. Manny Lawson, I believe he was like 15th pick in my draft class. Those were the two defensive ends that I had to block for 4 years.
This is 2004 or 5?
2005. The guy named, I forgot what, it was a Tank Williams, I believe. He was drafted in the first round. Their other D-tackle was drafted in the first round in 2006. They had 2 linebackers get drafted. They had 2 corners get drafted. There was a guy named Jericho Cotchery that played for the Jets. There's a running back, T.A. McClendon, that a lot of people don't know, but he was actually in the same conversations with Maurice Clarett as his freshman year as running back. That is the greatest fucking collection of talent that North Carolina State has ever assembled, and we lost to them, I believe, once. No, we lost to them twice. We lost we only lost them once, my freshman year. We beat them my sophomore, junior, senior year. But again, they'll go down in history as the greatest team that they've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland, we lost to Coach Ralph Friedgen. He was one of the great offensive minds during the time. I played against Sean Merriman when we lost in 04 to them in 04. They had what's EJ's name? They had a great linebacker. Some of the greatest Maryland teams that they've ever had. I'm trying to think of some of the other, and I'm giving these are the outlier teams that we should know that normally we wouldn't lose to. But this is how good they were. The North Carolina team that we lost to the year before I got there, oh my God. Julius Pepper just it's crazy.
Yeah.
The guys that they had. They whooped their ass too. I was like they whooped their ass so bad that when we played them my sophomore year, we went up there and we was like, y'all better whoop their ass.
Yeah.
Our coach was like, y'all owe them a good solid ass whoop.
They embarrassed us last time around here.
So what I'm saying is that's what the standard that I was held to.
Yeah. So
that we couldn't lose to all-time great teams. And
you named some people who really like I didn't know that you played against them.
Right, and that's not everybody I played against. I haven't detailed who I went up against at Florida.
You were fullback, so you were blocking?
I had to hit these motherfuckers every play.
That's crazy.
2003. The first game I played the entire game without a backup or anything. I was against the NC State. Bitch, I ran into Mario Williams 10 times. I played 110 plays on offense. We went in double overtime. I literally collapsed. There's a video of me somewhere where I told The last play where we scored, I told Leon Washington, I said, yo, it's a true story. I said, hey, dog, bro, I'll tell you right now, if we don't score right now, bro, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't know who the linebacker was. It was code 45. So basically, it's a counter action. I go to the left, tailback hops to the right, comes back to the left. I ISO on the linebacker. I just threw my whole body because my hand was broken, and I knew I was having labor room surgery. I just threw my body into him and prayed for the best. And it worked. I didn't know we scored. I literally didn't know we scored. I was literally laying on the ground. They had to come pick me up and say, James, the game's over. Leon scored. I was like, oh, shit, it's good. I wasn't
getting up.
I told him I didn't have anything in me before the game ended, before we went into the first overtime, because I was on field goal, too. So, like, literally, I didn't get off the field, man. And the goddamn Xavier Bethia missed the fucking field goal. I don't know. If I had the energy, I would have whooped his ass. But
so you're holding them.
I'm holding them to the standard that made us great.
That you were held to and that you played in.
Right.
And actually went up.
And then people get mad at that. Like, people mad at, like I'm happy we lose. I don't give a fuck who's the head coach. I want to win. And I want to do. Now, what I will say is this. I am like my grandmother in this. You gonna hear my mouth. I'm gonna bitch. But at the end of the day, this is what I'm also going to do. I'm going to give you every opportunity and every resource that I have available to me to make sure that you're successful. My grandma will give you the shirt off her back, but if you didn't do what she asked you to do, while she's taking that shirt off, you're going to hear her fucking mouth the entire time.
Yeah, I get that.
But she's going to still give you the shirt off of her back. I'm a booster. I don't get giving tickets to the games, which I could. I donate my money to my university. I bring my kids around. I bring other kids to Florida State games. I'm a fucking ambassador for them. And it's very difficult when they suck.
Yeah.
Everything is better when they're winning.
Yeah.
More people listen to my radio show. I'm more positive. Like, it's easier to get advertisers. Like, they talk about NIL deals. So, like, when I'm talking to these kids, and these kids are like, I can't get no NIL deals. So, you worry about the wrong fucking thing. Worry about the NFL and the NIL will come. You are more worried about the NIL than you are about the NFL. And that's the difference. And even now, as an adult, I still don't like Deion, but that's the reason why I don't like Deion. Because Deion was the main one cussing us out, and then we said, "Would y'all come back?" And he said he would come back. He didn't come back, but where he did go was we went to the University of Miami, and he trained Devin Hester, which is our rival. So I took a fit. That's the reason why I don't like Deion.
Okay,
it's a brotherhood thing. It's like a fraternal thing. It's not that Deion isn't the greatest corner to ever play.
Yeah.
It's great. I don't hate Deion for taking Travis Hunter. Deion did his job. I can respect. I don't have to like you to respect you. Like, I just don't like you.
I think we got to bring more of that. You don't have to like people.
I think if more people would be like that, we would have a better world. But here's the thing about all of this is that I think, I can always, like, at the end of the day, you can hate me all you want for my opinions on Florida State. But you can't take away the feelings that I gave you while I was there. I scored in both those end zones. I bled and I sweat on that field. I scored 10 touchdowns. So at least 10 times I brought you euphoria and joy. It's the same thing I tell my daughter's mother when she was going around hating me. You can hate me all you want, but you cannot unsuck my dick.
Oh my God.
You can hate me all you want and get angry at me, but you can't change the fact that you played with me on the video game and that at some point I probably brought you and your dad or somebody in your family together. It's probably the only time your dad ever hugged you was when we were winning, and I was a part of that.
Oh my God.
So that's really what you hate. That's really what you hate, is that the fact that I was a part of your childhood and your development in some of the best times, and I'm reminding you of the best times and some of the worst of times. That being said, Mike's going to get them better. Mike's doing a good job. If you're a former player, hit up Jeffrey Cup. They are doing a phenomenal job of trying to get former guys back. They are doing a phenomenal job of making Trey stay a fan during all this other time. Trey gets treated like VIP. This motherfucker was walking through the locker room like he owned that shit.
Yeah, I saw the video you posted. I was like, this man.
He goes around. One of the dopest things that, because this is what I want to make sure people understand. It's about the product on the field. Off the field, Ron Dugans was a Tallahassee legend that I grew up watching, and I love what he's doing now with the wide receiver corps. Odell Hagen's coached me. He's an FSU legend. My son walks on that practice. He went with the first practice he went with his granddad. Everybody over there talked to his granddad. Everybody knows Trey over there. Like, literally, every coach acknowledges my son. And I think that's dope. And that's how you recruit legacies. That's how you don't miss out on stuff years down the road, even if Mike's not there. My son will never forget that. So the next coach, I hope is Mike, or whoever, you got to recruit those legacies, because that's how you build your brand, because you got a bunch of mutants that are breeding with other mutants that are having mutants.
Yeah.
So like we got Armella is a legacy, who's an offensive lineman. We missed Marvin Jones Jr., whose dad is single-handedly the greatest linebacker to have ever played college football. If you don't know who Marvin Jones is, go watch his motherfucking highlights. The only way you hit people like that is cocaine and steroids, because he didn't give a fuck about nobody on that field. He is the original MFTK. And just, I say all those things to say is that it was a great time. They're looking better. They're headed in the right direction. If that direction doesn't equal wins and losses, then it's unfortunate. Yeah. But they do look better than what they've looked like in pads. I'll go over there next Tuesday. Tuesday's their pro day and other stuff as well.
That's good to hear, because literally when I moved to college, I think it was like the year that FSU, like with my family, my mom, they're FSU diehard fans, been that their whole lives. I wasn't really into college football like that until, I grew up and I went over there. I went to Tallahassee, and that was when every game was just trash, man. Like they weren't good. They weren't like everyone was leaving at halftime. Right. So my knowledge of my thought of FSU was literally I was going to those every home game that first year, 2017, when I went up there. I went to every home game and we got embarrassed. I was like, wait, this is the team that I was watching on TV all these years while I'm growing up. This is kind of embarrassing. This is pathetic.
What's really wild about it is that people talk about, oh, well, it's a noon game. It's tough. We play Miami annually at noon for the most part until they changed it for TV contracts. Noon used to be one of the primetime slots were noon and 8 p.m. 3:30 on ABC. They would fluctuate. It was more of a regional broadcast. But I don't know what it's like to not play in a packed dome. So seeing all this stuff is foreign to me. These guys, and again, I'm always going to have I have 8 season tickets. This past season, I had 8 regular season tickets. I mean, with normal people, and then I had 2 Champions Club tickets, which is in the air conditioning with food. Mm-hmm. I threw tailgates, and I probably put about 3,000-4,000 kids in seats, or different people in seats at Dope during the season. I would have done more, but it gets difficult to continue to raise those kind of funds and do those things. But that's why you come to the tailgates. That's why it's important. The comedy show we're going to do, raise funds, because that stuff costs money. I go and buy them in bulk. I release receipts too, so people can't say I'm stealing money. Trust me, if I'm going to steal money, I'm not going to steal money for that. It's going to be one of those really good.
We out of here.
James is James stole $15 million. I ain't that good of a guy. But people talk a lot about their diehardness and their fandom and this, that, and the other, but they don't show it on that end. I talk about the product on the field, but I also show the support in the manners in which. Yeah. So again, we were the first. Fifth Quarter was the first company to do an NIL deal with a Florida State player. So and I hear people talking about how can we get NIL deals. I'm like, shit. What you want to do? You got a business. You want to give some kids some money. Now there's college fan coin that you can be a regular fan. You can go get $20 right now to Amari Gaynor has a college fan coin deal. You can go get $20 to Amari Gaynor right now and not have to go through the university. Just go to collegefancoin.com, look up Amari Gaynor, click the button, boop, he gets the money. There's other increments and other things that you can do, and you get your name on Amari's wall in the metaverse. So
that's pretty hard.
Now I cover every college. They don't have to be just Florida State. We have a college. We have Ja'Carry Brown down in Miami. We have tight end at USC. We've got a lot of people, but my point is I cover everybody. I cover the NFL. there is no slam for the Jags because I'm not a Jags fan, but I just cover the Jags. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't like saying what I say about Florida State, and I go in on other fan bases way more harsh than I do Florida State. But at the end of the day, I'm pro kid. So like, and pro player. So that's my 2 cents on that. Like, damn, there was something else I really wanted to get into, but we have gone over, I believe. Or we're right around that time. So what was the other thing I wanted to get into? Oh, MFTK of the week. I'm gonna post this. This is it. I'm all for this. I think this teacher, if we're gonna give awards, we need to give an award to this teacher. People, again, this is the confusing shit, right? So a few years ago, people stop letting your kids get access to your fucking guns.
Oh,
like, you gotta be. I don't believe in heaven or hell per se, but like, there's got to be a special place in the afterlife for people who shoot up schools, churches, and movie theaters. Like, if you're a gang member, fine, that's the business. Like, at the end of the day, that shit happens. But that's literally, imagine going to go see, like, you going to go get your lesson, and all of a sudden, some kid's mad that a girl didn't talk to him, and now he shoots up the whole fucking school. And don't get me wrong, I think there just needs to be more conflict resolution in schools. We could do a better service to them, but damn it, I don't like that. But Fulton County Schools suspends a coach for confronting a student who brought a loaded gun to school. And it's Tri-City, their athletic director, Ken Miller, on August 20th. Now, he whipped the shit out of the kid. He roughed the kid up. Which I would too if I thought my life was in danger. And he gets the MFTK of the week in a good way. It is. MFTK is mentors for the kids. But MFTK stands for, man, fuck them kids. Yeah. Fuck them kids that shoot up schools. Not these kids that we trying to protect. Them kids need their asses whooped. And if you would have whooped your kid's ass, they probably wouldn't be over here trying to shoot these motherfucking kids. Which is another thing. Stop giving all this fucking advice if you ain't never tried to shoot up a club or you ain't never had a bun in the fucking oven. Because y'all run around giving these theses and think pieces on about not whipping kids' asses and shit. Like, good luck. Yeah. Like, I'll be a terrible parent. Because the one thing I'm not going to do, you want to know what my 2 jits ain't going to do? Shoot up a fucking school. And get into some goddamn serious trouble. Because I'd rather whoop their ass than hear them bars closed. Yeah. As a guy who has been locked up before, like, not locked up, but like been to county and things like that, that's a fucking terrifying experience. Especially when they put you in with the real crazy motherfuckers. Like, you got to figure out, like, and you've seen all these movies and shit. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's true and what's not. The point is... That
guy, I think whooping kids' asses is mentorship. Whooping asses is mentorship.
And it's a coach. And the coach did what you're supposed to do. So the same people, and this is a conservative area, like, they're talking about giving teachers guns to shoot because people think that they believe the good guy with a gun myth, which is not true. There's well-trained soldiers that when they get shot at, the bitches freeze. So what the fuck you think a teacher, that algebra teacher is going to do? It sounds good. And the problem is a lot of people making these fucking laws that ain't never got their chin tapped. Yeah. They ain't never been in a fight. If you ain't never been in I think this. There has to be a way to, like, check your records for this. If you've never been in a fist fight, you shouldn't be able to have a gun. Yes. And the reason why I say that is because if you wouldn't handle it with your fist, I don't think you should be allowed to handle it with a pistol, with steel. And, now I get it. Yeah, there's people who are going to do it illegal. I understand the semantics and all that shit. Just bear with me. It's an imaginary world. The point is, this man should be getting a fucking parade. And what he's doing, and I wanted to give him, I'm a big proponent of giving people their flowers while they can smell it.
What was his name again?
Kenneth Miller, you the man. I appreciate you sacrificing your life and apparently your livelihood to make sure that other parents could be able to do this. You know what y'all should be doing? There's a movie called Lean on Me. Awesome movie. With the oldest actor living, Morgan Freeman. And he played.
How old is Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman has got to be 105 years old. I was going to say, he's been the same age since I've been alive. So
every picture I've seen of him looks like it was taken in like the 40s.
The movie Lean on Me, he plays this principal that literally goes into an inner city school, East Side High, and he completely transforms it, and he does some things that are tough. And a couple parents didn't like that shit.
He's 84.
Not bullshit. Bullshit. He was old when my grandmama was young. And she's 84, I think. He goes in and like at the end of the movie, like they arrest him because he does something that was, I guess, kind of borderline illegal or whatever. He wasn't supposed to do it. So he's in the county jail, and all the parents basically march and they're screaming, "Free, free Mr. Clark, free Mr. Clark." Y'all need to go.
I've never seen the movie.
To Mr. Miller's house, Coach Miller's house, and be like, this is what we need to do. We need more teachers like that. And he's an African American male. He needs to be the picture of what we want our teachers to look like, what we want our coaches to look like.
They said he was initially fired.
So that's even worse.
Yeah.
So like,
the school district got involved.
Like to me, like I just like, man, this makes me not want to be a fucking teacher. But we need to honor our teachers though, because like teachers like that are the ones that are good. So I'm lucky. My son has had so he's had 4 really good teachers, and I hope he continues to have those, and I support him. None of them have been male. I can't wait till he gets a black male teacher. And again, miss me with the shit in the comments and all that other bullshit. It's just the motherfuckers is unicorns. It ain't a lot of them.
Yeah.
That ain't coaching football. That aren't PE teachers. So like I'd like my son to see a representation of himself.
I've had like 2 black male teachers in my entire. One was 6th grade science. I don't remember his name, but he was a cool dude. Everyone loved him. And then Mr. Coleman at Paxson, he also taught science. I didn't have him. I just skipped in his class all the time.
So my thing is honor the teachers. That's the MFTK of the week, and I think that basically touches everything. So make sure you check us out. SoundCloud, Den Media Group. Check us out at SportsDen_live on IG and Twitter. We'll have clips of the last couple shows. A lot of new content coming out, a lot of ideas. Any ideas that you would like for us to be able to talk about or see, inbox at SportsDen_live or me at BigMJames_36. Please share the YouTubes. We need that. The new challenge is to get the YouTube over 3,000 minutes viewed. So just play it at work. Do what my son does with this some joker, damn Matt Smith or something like that. This motherfucker just like he gives him like he just puts the damn YouTube video on and sleeps with it and lets it run. Please just do that at work. Like just get a group of y'all, because then we can get monetized on YouTube. There's so many ways that you can support your favorite podcast and your favorite shows that don't involve you writing a check. Support the sponsors at Green Acres. If you need to get your weapons, Goodfellas, Good Vibes. Tonight we're gonna have we'll have Jazz here tonight. We'll have a DJ. Support the different comedy shows. And check out the tailgate. It's my it's at BigGameJames_36. It's my pinned tweet. You'll see a video of one of the tailgates and how much fun it is. But there's a link in the description. It's $25. Literally, most of the stuff is donated, so almost all the proceeds go toward my book bag drive. And the goal this year is to get 2,000 plus book bags. We'll have, I think right now, it's early in the game, but I think we're over 100 book bags right now. Enough money raised for it. But we're a long way to go. We got to raise close to $70,000 to be able to make that happen. And then the different programs and stuff that we do in the city. Appreciate you guys. Check out the Writer's Block podcast with Bobby.
Well, thanks for the plug.
Support him and everything he does.
I got some interviews dropping soon that I did at the Comedy Zone. I'm very excited about. So, yeah, we're working.
So get that content.